Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Great Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Victoria. Tundu, MKO Aviola.
Good morning, Mr.
Yes, reminds me of the New Zealand rugby team, the All Blacks.
Yes. Even can we just proceed with the main job?
Let's start the review with these day newspapers. Nigeria's newspaper of records. The lead story, Nation in Turmoil. Bandits kill 2 more Kaduna students. In search of solutions, Buhari meets Blinken virtually. Yes, in a show of sheer callousness, bandits who abducted 23 students of the Greenfield University, Kaduna in Kaduna State yesterday killed 2 more students, bringing the number they have killed to 5. A very sad day, a very sad story for our country. And the fact that this, only yesterday, bandits also attacked another university in Benue State and took away some 3 students tells you that we are in deep trouble. So, nation in turmoil. Bandits killed 2 more Kaduna students. Couldn't have put it in a better way. But if we look at other stories, in fact, more gory stories, the Daily Trust newspaper, how fighter jets, Boko Haram, killed 33 soldiers in Minok. Officer, 6 others killed, army. Troops finally entered Gaidam. Insurgents totally occupy our villages. Buhari's achievement meaninless without security, according to the APC, the ruling party, the party of the president. Now, if we look at this story, without giving too much to these insurgents, but I think we should just take some portion of this story, because according to the Daily Trust newspaper, credible sources said Boko Haram fighters invaded Minok in a convoy of 4 mine-resistant, ambush-protected A-Scorpion armored personnel carrier and several gun trucks. They reportedly disguised as friendly forces before dislodging troops of the 156th Battalion and setting the camp ablaze. They killed many soldiers in that attack. And, of course, they also used the citizens, the inhabitants of these towns, as human shield, set up roadblocks to ambush soldiers that will come from other locations to give support to the soldiers in Minok. And in the process, they killed many soldiers, according to the report. But, again, because this attack took place on Friday, and between Friday and yesterday, these Boko Haram, ISWAP insurgents had a field day, even calling prayers. But as at yesterday, Nigerian troops were able to enter Giadiam, trying to dislodge the ISWAP and Boko Haram fighters. So it's quite a tough battle. But in all this, the fact that Nigerian fighter jets also drop bombs on Nigerian soldiers, according to the report, and the Air Force chief has said they are going to investigate that. But if you look at the report, these terrorists also came in the desert fatigue of which the Nigerian army also uses. Now, what that meant is that it's very difficult because the citizens and even some of the soldiers initially thought they were friendly forces coming. And which means we have a tough battle in our hands, because in that report, the governor of Yobe State, Buni, speaking to the BBC Hausa service, which was quoted in the story, was saying that, well, for some time they've had some respite, but the recent invasion by these Boko Haram and ISWAP forces is something on a different scale. Now, we look at other stories, still on insecurity. The Daily Sun newspaper, just as gory. Boko Haram takes over 50 Niger villages, hoist flags. Villagers flee to Minna, state capital. 1 officer, 6 soldiers killed in shootout with terrorists in Minok, Borno State. Now, the Tribune, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, still the same story. Nigerian governor raises alarm. Boko Haram, 2 hours drive from Abuja, hoist flag in Niger. We took the sound bites from the governor himself, Governor Bello of Niger State. He said he has been calling on the federal authorities to do more than what they've been doing on the banditry and insurgency that has now gotten to Niger State. What this tells us, that indeed there is a nexus, there's a connection between the so-called bandits and the insurgents, because up till now, we're assuming that what we had in Niger State was just a case of banditry and bandits having a free reign. But with the hoisting of this flag, we know that Boko Haram are indeed in Niger State, that's in north-central Nigeria, so close to Abuja. The challenge before the Nigerian troops and the government of the day. The Punch newspaper, also on insecurity. 5 cops killed. 15 cops, 5 soldiers killed. Governor says Abuja not safe. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper simply titled their lead story as Black Monday. Niger, Boko Haram hoist flag, 50 villages deserted. Army, terrorists kill officers, 6 soldiers in Borno. Kebbi, Imo, Kaduna, bandits kill DPO, 10 officers, 2 vigilante, 2 more Greenfield University students. Lagos, 2 die in Okada riders. National Union of Road Transport Workers clash. Anambra, 9 die in Headers villagers conflict. Benue, gunmen abduct 2 housewives, 3 children, 3 students, 2 others. Quite gory, widespread insecurity in the land. Vanguard, bloodbaths in Imo, Rivers, Anambra, 18 killed. Now, the Nation newspaper.
Well, maybe on that note, Emmanuel Efeni, we take a break.
Yes.
And then we'll come back to you, and the newspaper review will continue. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News channel. The great Emmanuel Efeni, great Malabite Efeni, is still here reviewing newspapers from around the world. Malabite, action.
So much for insecurity. Let's just look at other stories. The Daily Times of Nigeria newspaper. Nigeria borrows 20 trillion in 6 years. Put differently, Nigeria borrows 20 trillion in the Buhari era. Now, debt stock rose by 160% from 12 trillion in 2015 to 33 trillion. Well, the debt management office is saying no cause for alarm, assuring citizens. I hope that is actually the case. Now, the Guardian newspaper, Nigeria's The Guardian newspaper, prepare for third wave COVID-19, prepared for third COVID-19 wave. Nigerians warned. PSC says Nigerians won't accept vaccine from private unverified sources. Academy urges federal government to stop international airport. Academy urges the federal government to stop international flights to check spread. World Health Organization survey reveals disruption in health services. Federal government keeps mum as East Africa destroy expired AstraZeneca vaccine. Now, from Nigeria's The Guardian, we move straight to The Guardian of UK. Pressure on Johnson after claim of slur on COVID death. Prime Minister struggles to refute allegations that he said bodies could pie high. Faced with fury from relatives of the bereaved, the Prime Minister and senior ministers emphatically deny he had said no more lockdowns, let the bodies pile. But that is not all the fire the Prime Minister is facing. The Daily Mail newspaper dumps all-out war with Prime Minister, the Daily Mail. Now, Dominic Cummings unleashed further attacks on the Prime Minister yesterday when he released a statement, 1,100-word statement, saying Cummings effectively declared war on Number 10. And according to him, the Prime Minister had fallen far below the standard of competence and integrity the country deserves. Cummings is behaving like a jilted lover and is going all out attacking the Prime Minister and his fiancée in his latest tirade. Now, the New York Times, yes, U.S. population growth second slowest on record. Political map will shift. Immigration lags as birth rate declines. Yes, the U.S. population, the census figure out and changes, it will bring about political change in political map because the South and the West gained population and congressional representation will be altered. In fact, New York will be losing one congressional seat because they fall short by 89 persons. Now, demographers attribute the slow rate over the last decade to an aging population, lower birth rates, and lower rates of immigration. Ruben, Rufai, and Tundu, over to you.
Well, Finney, I think the first thing we have to worry about is a worsening security situation in the country and a seeming or obvious, if you like, apparent inability of the state to deal with it. If you look at most of the newspapers that you have reviewed this morning, on their front pages, they have security challenges in Nigeria. This day says, nation in turmoil. Bandits kill 2 more Kaduna students. Now, these are the students from the Greenfield University, the private university in Kaduna. And the other day, we lamented, about how 3 of them had been killed. 2 more of them have also been killed. Now, one paper says, Daily Sun, Boko Haram takes over 50 Niger villages who hoist flag. Now, it's not only in Kaure, as the governor of Niger State, Sani Bello, has pointed out. In other places, also in Gaydam, Boko Haram is hoisting flags. They are challenging the sovereignty, the sovereign integrity of Nigeria. Daily Trust, according to you, says our fighter jet Boko Haram killed 33 soldiers in Minok. The Nigerian Air Force does not even have a record of its own officers. They have no information as to whether officers have been killed or not. News Direct, tension as bandits kill another 2 Greenfield students. Shoot commissioner, kill 5 policemen in Imo. Okay, we ask the question, what is going on? All of us we are facing serious danger, whether you are in Abuja or you are in Niger State or you are in Katsina or you are in Kaduna. Sani Bello, the governor of Niger State, is saying the Kaure is just 2 hours from Abuja. Okay, are we going to have a situation where bandits will just enter Abuja and attack Aso Rock? Well, one piece of good news is that today President Buhari is going to have a meeting with Anthony Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State. And you recall that the other day, Professor Wole Soyinka said, Nigeria needs help. And if we need help, we should ask for it. I hope the Nigerian authorities will take advantage of this meeting with the U.S. Secretary of State to ask for help, particularly now that we have a globalist as a president of the United States and who has shown interest. Before now, perhaps, Nigeria would not even have been included in that list of virtual meetings. So I think we should also celebrate that the U.S. Thinks that Nigeria is a big problem that needs to be engaged with.
I mean, that's a great point. The fact that I even say we should celebrate that America thinks that we're a big problem is an indication of the problem we have in our nation. You went through the papers, and over 4 or 5 national dailies had the verb kill. You know what that means for a nation? A nation that largely have young people, median age 19 years of age. An average Nigerian is a young person. A nation that ought to be talking of development of its young people. And you can go through a national daily on a day like this, and you see kill, kill, kill. No national daily was spared this morning of the verb kill, to destroy. All the papers had the verb kill. That's to show you that there is fire on the mountain. And nobody seems to be on the run. And I said nobody deliberately here because we are not hearing any word from the president. It's the governor of Niger State that is speaking that say Abuja is not safe. We keep seeing the president meet security chiefs. But we are not hearing from the president. It's time for the president to address this nation. Isn't all of this enough for the president to address this nation, to reassure the people of the country, and not just addressing the nation? To take steps. We want to see concrete steps. All we keep hearing is we are investigating. Just like the military said they were investigating the 2 officers, the pilots that were killed a couple of months ago. You know, they said they're still investigating that one. Nothing has come out of this. We saw a video about somebody on the floor after the plane came down. They're still investigating. The rebuttal from the military on these officers that were killed by, Air Force plane losing their coordinates is that we're investigating. Only God knows when they will finally come out and say, okay, this number of officers were killed. We just keep investigating everything while people are getting killed. Anambra State was another one yesterday. They said they were going from home to kill people. Crisis everywhere. Alabarago in Lagos was free for all yesterday. But we are not hearing any word. There is fire on the mountain.
Well, the president met yesterday with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and it was security that they discussed.
They have been meeting?
According to the Speaker, they are working on new strategies which they cannot disclose for obvious reasons.
I want the strategies to work. We've been working on new strategies since 2009 when Boko Haram started. There has never been a time we have not worked on a new strategy. But has the new strategy brought peace?
Well, we don't have a lot of time, and it's all been said about security. I just thought I'd comment on Boris Johnson, who has always been gaffe-prone. So I don't think anybody's surprised by these claims that he said he doesn't care if thousands of bodies pile high. And those thousands of bodies, would have been human beings, family members, loved ones. He would have been one of those thousands, if not that he was, he managed to survive. And you read it from the Guardian newspaper in the UK. Under that headline, there was the awful ordeal of Nazanin Zaghari Ratcliffe. I've been following that story. And again, Boris Johnson's gaffes. When he was Foreign Secretary 4 years ago, he sort of worsened her situation because she claimed to have been in Iran on holiday to visit family. And he went and told the Iranian authorities that she was working, that she was teaching people journalism, which strengthened the case that they have against her because they claim that she was spying. So he does tend to put his foot in his mouth. So we'll see how that goes for the UK. Why that's relevant to me this morning is it's the same callous indifference at the very highest level of leadership that we're witnessing with a statement like that, and also the attitude of the federal government towards this escalating security issue.
Well, I don't know who sings well in this team, but I think it will be most appropriate to end this with the words of Asha, the musician. It was Rufai that talked about fire on the mountain.
Oh, yes.
And you record that song by Asha, there is fire on the mountain, and no one seems to be running. Oh, there is fire on the mountain top, or something like that.
Don't give up the day
And no one is running.
Don't give up the day job.
Anyway, I'm not a musician,
Yes.
but clearly Asha in those lyrics.
That's not one of your talents, Ruben.
But Asha reminded us, when there is fire on the mountain, people should be running, and the Nigerian government should do what it can and what it must do to protect the people. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Ofene.